Is your calendar empty, or do you just have the wrong type of people booking into your calendar, taking up your time? And then when you get on the phone call with them, you know straight away that, they're not the right fit. Maybe they can't afford your fees. Maybe you just there's a personality clash that you think that's going to happen, or you just don't feel you're able to help them with a specific problem. See, you don't have a marketing problem. You actually have a messaging problem. And today I want to share with you the exact framework that has helped my financial planning and financial advising clients to actually hone in on the right type of message with the right type of people. So when you get this right, you start attracting the right type of clients and you can start growing your business. Most financial planners get this wrong very early on. And it's not your fault because most of you have been told to focus on your demographics and psychographics of your clients. See, we need to go a little bit deeper than that. And the one thing that you're missing probably is that you aren't understanding their current situations. You're not communicating their current situations. And what I mean by that is that every client in any industry that we focus on, whether it's tech professionals, it's medical, it's nurses, whatever that industry may be, there's four key areas that your audience belongs into. And understanding where they are at a particular point in time is going to make it so much easier for you to create the right message so you can start communicating that, whether it's in blogs or it's social media or even running ads for that matter. So I've prepared a short presentation to share with you right now, but I want to go really deep into it. But before I do that, I want you to do two things. One is give us a subscribe if you find our content super helpful. But more importantly, download the PDF right here that I've created for you. There's a link there below. Download it and follow through and just complete it. It'll make life a little bit easier because I know you'll refer to this later on down the track when you are creating content. So before I start and get into the presentation, I want you to understand that your prospects, your audience, they're in two situations when they contact you. One is they're in pain right now. So what they want to do is get out of pain, right? So that's the first situation. The second situation is they're doing okay, but they're not achieving their goals. So here they want to work towards pleasure. Now, that's firstly, keep a clean mind over here when I say that. So they want to go towards a pleasure. They have a specific goal that they want to achieve in their life. And the issue is that we have a misalignment between who the client is, what the situation is, and also what is the message that we need to communicate. Because when we get the alignment right, the message to the right person, we're going to start attracting the right type of people. We're going to start getting more people booking into the calendar, and those people booking into the calendar, they're going to be the right type of people. So you're not going to have an issue with maybe someone who's questioning your fees or they're questioning your methodology on how you're going to help them. So let's get into it. I want to share with you this system that I've created for my clients. So just bear with me. And we'll get into it right now. Perfect. Okay. So there's four key stages that an audience falls into. Like I said, so let's say you take a tech professionals. Tech professionals, there's a wide variety of it. Whether you break it down to 35 to 45-year olds, married, all those different things, they're cool, but each of them have a unique situation. Some of them may be in a what I call a survival situation. So in a survival situation, they are gonna basically be a little bit different. Let me just open this up a bit more. Bear with me. Yep. Okay. So they could be in a survival situation, or they could be in a struggling situation, and I'll go through this in a second, or a stable situation and a really strong situation. So, which one? What does this all mean, and who do I target, and how do I do this? So let's get into it. So if they're in a survival situation, they are kind of sinking. They are going backwards. So maybe they've been out of work for a little while, but they've got a bit of savings. They're digging into it. They just, can't even see themselves getting out of it, to be honest with you. So they're in a very sinking situation that's just not really good. So there could be, a huge amount of debt, or the debt just accumulating over time and it's stressing them out, keeping them up at night. Then there's people that are in what I call a struggle situation where they're slipping. They're doing okay. One month they're doing really well. Next month they're not doing so well. They could be living, paycheck to paycheck. We've heard that before. So they're struggling. They're not quite going on holidays, but they're really in this situation that they know that they can get themselves out of, but they just don't understand how to go about doing it. Then there's people that are what I call in a stable situation. They're doing really well, got a really good income, paying off their bills. They've got some assets, but they're not growing them quickly or big enough that they're going to help achieve their long-term goals. Really, what they're doing right there is stalling. They're not taking action. They're kind of just cruising along in a stable situation. Then there's people that are really strong. They're at the top of the chain here, of the, I should say, the triangle or the pyramid, whichever way you look at it. And these guys are doing really well. However, they're trying to speed as quickly as possible to creating wealth, but they've also got other things that they may not be aware of. And these little speed humps can actually set them back a lot. So what we need to do is really focus in on where your current clients are that you want to be targeting and work out what are the pain points that they're in. So you can see on the on that side that I've just shared with you, where it's got sinking, slipping, stalling, and speeding, that's the pain points, that's the problems, that's the frustrations that they're having right now. Where they want to be and what you need to promote and start communicating is on the other side of the pyramid or triangle, whichever way we want to talk about this. So if they're in a survival situation, all they're thinking about is security. How do I secure, enough finances to get my head above water? If they're able to do that and you start communicating that, then that's great. Obviously, you still need to show some empathy around the sinking part of it, and talk about the security that you could offer them to help them get out of survival mode. Then those people that are struggling, they want control. They want to be able to have more ability to, in terms of cash flow, they want to be able to understand their budgeting. They want, more, they want to make sure that they got enough cash coming in than going out. So in order to move away from slipping and living paycheck to paycheck, they want more control. Then there's people that are in a stable situation. Like I said, they were stalling before, they're doing okay, but they really haven't accumulated the wealth that they want. So you want to talk about how to, go from where they are today in terms of stalling and doing really well, but the thing they could be missing out, like the FOMO part of it, which is all around accumulation. That accumulation is more about, really building, maybe going all in on shares and things like that, or property, whichever way suits you. And those people that are in a strong situation, we want to talk more about diversification. So maybe they've built up their wealth now, but it's very silo, so in a very vertical situation. They haven't gone across horizontal. And again, it may not be the right type of strategy, but you got to work out what is the best strategy for your type of clients. But a lot of times, people that are doing really well, they probably haven't diversified enough, which puts them at risk. So you want to start talking about diversification. But here's the big thing I want you to take out of today. Your clients are in a situation, but if you start talking about accumulation, so the person, who should be receiving this message is in a stable situation, but that message goes to someone in a survival mode, you can talk about that goal, that long-term thing, but they're going to switch off. They're not going to actually, you're not going to get their attention. The way you're going to get their attention is by talking about security and sinking. Whereas someone who, you're trying to target who's someone in the strong and you talk about, diversification. But if you talk about, getting more control of your finances and budgeting, and these people are already making they've got maybe 1 million, 2 million in cash or assets, they're gonna switch off. So you really want to tailor the right type of message. And like I said, on one side of it where we've got the speeding, the stalling, the slipping, the sinking, that's the pain, that's the problems they have, that's their frustrations, and people want to move away from that. And they want to go more towards the diversification, accumulation, control, and security. So really the purpose of today is really helping you understand where your clients are. When you understand where your clients are, then you start creating the messages that you need using this particular pyramid, this framework that I've shared with you called the message alignment, and start communicating from that perspective. So all your blog content, your social media content, YouTube content, whatever you're creating to get the attention of your audience, make sure it's aligned with the right message with the right audience. So, hey guys, thanks so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. Hope you found this super helpful. Leave a comment below, give us a subscribe so I can keep making this content, because without your feedback, I'm really not sure what type of content to create for you that is super helpful. If you do want some help in breaking through $15,000 a month as a financial planner or financial advisor, just comment the word community. I'll get some details out to you about our program that has helped a lot of our clients just achieve that 15K plus a month. Again, thanks so much for joining us. Hope to see you again. Take care. Bye for now.